Dun dun dun, JAT drive. It is a JAT drive. It is a JAT drive. JAT drive now. I don't know. Setting my navigation. There we go. En route. 47 minutes to my destination. Hang on one sec. Dust on the lens. Dust on the lens. So, it's JAT drive. And I was watching last night on HBO the documentary about Andre the Giant. And Andre the Giant was a fascinating human being. Seemed like a wonderful man. I never met him. However, I have a connection to Andre the Giant. Some of you may know, and some of you may not know. What is my connection to Andre the Giant? Anybody? Anybody? You? What about you? 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 Oh, very good. Yes. I am actually, believe it or not, I am Andre the Giant's voice double. Now, since he passed away a while ago, there's not a big call for doubling him now, but there was a Princess Bride video game that came out, and they needed someone to be Andre the Giant's character of Fezzik. And I was the guy that got the job. And looking at me, that's kind of crazy, right? Because Andre the Giant was like 7'4". I'm 5'4". He was literally 2 feet taller than me. 2 feet taller. An entire 2 feet taller than me. And was about almost 500 pounds. And I'm about 120. So he was, a much bigger person than me. But we have the same voice, as you can hear. So how did that happen? Well, it was an audition, and it was out of my booth at home. And I have the, I still have the audition. I'll play it. I'll play it for you right now. I'll wait. Here, listen. First, you're going to hear the real Andre the Giant, then me.
I did that on purpose.
I did that on purpose.
I don't have to miss.
I don't have to miss.
We face each other as God intended.
We face each other as God intended.
Sportsmanlike.
Sportsmanlike.
No tricks.
No tricks.
No weapons.
No weapons.
Skill against skill alone.
Skill against skill alone.
I can kill you now.
I could kill you now.
It's not my fault being the biggest and the strongest.
Not my fault being the biggest and the strongest.
I don't even exercise.
I don't even exercise.
So they needed somebody to sound like Fezzik, and they had sent the files over and everything. I had to match them. And I was just able to tune into it. Also the accent, you know, I mean, it's one thing to be able to get down into that low range, and then it's another entirely to then be able to speak the way he spoke, which was in relatively broken English with French accent. You know, I mean, I don't want to say broken English, but, you know, I mean, it was, you know, people would say it was harder to understand him at times and stuff because of his French accent. And it was a strong French accent.
And then you have to put it down in here where he would talk. Anybody want a peanut? The way that he talked and the way he would say things, it was with a bit of an accent. And it was all kind of right in here.
So, you know, I tuned into it. Again, I just happen to have an ear for voices and tones and then the way people talk and kind of mimicking them. And so got the gig. But I think that it's one of those ones where when people think of voice acting, this is the big difference between actors and even character actors and voice actors, in that a voice actor can become something completely different than what they are in everyday life. And so I think it was pretty cool. And I love Andre the Giant. As a kid, I loved watching him wrestle, and I loved The Princess Bride. And I just always thought, what a wonderful man, and very sad story in that he passed away so young. He was 46 years old when he passed away. And the world loved him. And I think that is, it's a great documentary if you haven't seen it. Check it out. It's very well made. I'm a big documentary fan. But Andre the Giant and I have that in common. And I would have loved to have met the man and studied his voice like that, by listening to him. How do I get my voice that deep? Well, I've talked about it on other JAT drives. I can't always explain exactly how it works, but it's my particular vocal cords. Now, the longer your vocal cords are, the deeper you can go. So if you have smaller vocal cords, your voice is going to be higher and not have the ability to go as deep and as low as I understand it. So, and also, like, I believe the thickness, the width and such, like the man with the deepest voice in the world. I remember watching a video a few years back on that, and they say that he has really big, deep, long vocal cords, and so he's able to really get down deep like that. Harder in the car right now because I'm driving here. I'll pull the microphone up a little closer, maybe. I don't know if that'll make a difference. But you got the sound of the car and everything too, so you're not going to hear.
Because that voice.
If I try to push it, I can't go as deep.
But if I'm right in here, I can do pretty low. That's the way I can do it.
And it's pretty much all up in here. I remember years ago, Billy West and I were doing a cartoon together, and we were at a table read for it, and they wanted him to do like a James Coburn voice. And Billy is not much taller than me. I'm 5'4", I think he's probably 5'6" or so, and we're about the same build. And Billy's got that great voice, like Fry on Futurama, and Doug Funny, and I love Doug. And Billy's just an amazing talent, and he has that ability to get a really deep range. He's Zoidberg, for crying out loud, on Futurama.
Zoidberg, which is right in there too,
So Billy was talking, and they asked him to do this James Coburn voice. And he was talking about how you find these little pockets within your mouth and your throat and to place the sound to create larger things, because we have to fake it. And that's exactly it. And when he said that, it really clicked for me. And I thought, oh yeah.
So I started doing these kind of things with the voice. And I started seeing where I could take my voice, and deeper and stuff. And then you add an accent to it, and you make it's almost nasal.
So I'm almost talking up here. It's kind of hard to understand, but I do that on purpose because that is the way he talked. It was hard to understand everything that Andre the Giant would say in American because, of course, that was his second language.
So you had kind of a way of, when he would speak, it wasn't, it wasn't the way that I might say it normally, So I'm actually kind of holding all my sound up here and pushing it up into these areas, which is strange because you would think that would be for a higher voice, but it's actually where I get the deeper one. Fred Flintstone is kind of the same. It's up in there, but it's kind of off to the side, you see? So I keep it right. Well, my body, brother. It's all right in there. And Andre the Giant just push it up a little bit more. Anybody want a peanut? Is it? I could kill you. My way is not so sportsmanlike. And then
what I do is I make my tongue as fat as I can. That sounds kind of funny.
But
I make it kind of dead and fat. To kind of help with that sound of that. I'm hitting some traffic here. That kind of sound.
So my way is not so sportsmanlike. I could kill you if I try. It's all those things. Yes. I'm a part of that. So everything you say is all right in there. And I'm kind of pushing all the sound up into there. So see.
And I have to concentrate. I have to concentrate on keeping it down deep enough.
Because if I let it slide, then I might go up into higher. You hear the difference? So you could say, yeah, that's kind of the way he might talk, but it's not deep enough. So I have to bring it back down into here. And when I do that, I'm kind of basically what I'm doing
is my tongue is just lying flat down in the bottom of my mouth.
And it helps with that accent and the way I do that. And then I think about a French accent, and so how you would do it.
I mean, it's hard to explain how you do an accent. You think about it. So a French accent, if I'm doing a French accent, like my friend Laurent, the engineer on the Fox session there, he is French. And so I love listening to his voice. Hello, James. He's got this wonderful French accent. And so I listen to it and I hear how he does it, and then I would repeat after him. So you think about a French accent and how you would talk in that.
And then you have to think about if you were lowering your voice and you're making it kind of a nasal sound, but then you're bringing it down into an even lower place, and then you get all of this resonance for the voice, and then you speak like Andre the Giant. That's how you do it.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm really explaining it right or well, and it takes a lot of practice. I didn't just instantly just go, oh, I get it.
It takes practice. It's like whistling, you know?
My daughter can't whistle, and I love to whistle. I whistle all the time. In fact, my wife always says when I come home and I'm whistling, it makes her happy. She loves hearing me whistle. And of course, being Yondu in Guardians of the Galaxy, I had to whistle a lot. And then different types of whistles. So I never can do that, like that one, but with the fingers, but I can do that. And Yondu whistles both ways, so that's pretty great. But anyway, so I picture the people. I picture Andre the Giant in my head, first off, if I'm doing his voice.
And I picture what he looks like, and I picture his mouth moving instead of mine. I picture how he would be talking and saying the words,
And that's what I do. And again, a lot of vocal warm-up, so I really need the bassier part of my voice, obviously, for that. So I do my vocal warm-ups beforehand, just like with the Fox stuff. It's all coming up next on Fox. That's all right in there, in that same place. And I need to have that resonance and that boom to it. So I do, ooh. And I rehearse, and if you go and you find the ones where I talk about vocal exercises, you can hear it. So the difference in my voice before and after I do that exercise is, so like if I'm talking and I want to do a deep voice like this, and I want it to be deeper, I will go, ooh, 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 like 5, ooh, 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 ooh. And what I'm doing is I'm opening up the cavity of my mouth, and then I'm, ooh, ooh, I'm pushing air from the diaphragm, ooh, ooh, and now I want to hold those notes. Ooh, ooh. Gravel in there because I'm a little allergy today. But let's listen. So now I've opened up, I've relaxed these muscles, and I can do a bigger, deeper sound compared to before. In a world, one man. So that's how I do it. But normally my voice is up here, right? I mean, that's my voice. But if I want to bring it down here, I do my exercises, I deep breathe, and I picture somebody bigger than myself and how they would talk and what they would sound like. And there's variations of that voice. And then you can add the rasp to it, and you can do this guy. And then you can make it more, yeah, like that. Remember the dog on the old Looney Tunes cartoons where the Foghorn Leghorn would, hey buddy, all right, come here buddy. So right in there, that's basically all I'm doing, you know? I'm just adding that with the resonance. Or I can, like I say, Flintstone, Andre the Giant, hey yo, Adrian, you know, Sly Stallone, you know, he's all right in there. Jeff Goldblum, yeah. Yeah, which is, it's interesting. It's good. It's not really deep, but it's there's a resonance. Yes. Ooh, a resonance. And you do that. So, you know, that Johnny Carson. If I'm doing Johnny Carson, I need the resonance. So I will do the vocal warm-ups before I do those voices. You see, anytime I'm doing a big announcer voice, Don Pardo's Saturday Night Live, I will do those exercises. If I'm gonna do Johnny Test, I don't need to do that one, but I might do see, I'm a little out of practice there. It's kind of warbling. So I would do a bunch of scales in that, or and really warm my voice up. And then I might put some music on and sing for a while and really try to get my voice just as loose and all as possible, so then I can go into the upper range. But if I was doing like Johnny Test sessions, and I would play Johnny and Dark Vegan, and Dark Vegan had that big deep voice, I will get you Johnny Test. Ooh, Johnny Test. And so he was right in there. And Johnny was like, you know, up here, and I would do them back to back. I mean, we didn't break it up. I would just read the line. So if Johnny had a line and Vegan had a line, I would just have the conversations. That's how we recorded it. So you have to have your voice warmed up to do those things. And that's what I would do. Some days your voice is better than other days. Today, my voice is pretty good. So I love that. Like I say, there's a little rasp in there. But I kind of always have a little rasp in my voice too. And so a lot of times I'll be like, can you take the rasp out? And so you really have to try. And some days you just can't really get it out because there's just, you know, goop in your throat. That's a technical term. But you try to not have it there. And if you're somebody that just naturally has that, then make that your sound. You know, you make it like you do like a Dennis Leary, you know. Oh yeah, you want to do, you know, something like that, where it's, you know, he's got that kind of rasp in there and all. I don't really know. I don't know how to explain the rasp or how I get it or pull it out or, you know, any of that. But it's just I think about it and then it's there. So I don't know if that helps people or if that's how all of you work. Looking at my battery, but that's what I do. So anyways, I thought this one would be just an interesting one of talking about just ways I get to different voices. And the Andre the Giant documentary was the catalyst for it, which made me think about it all.
And it's a fun voice to do.
Okay, so see, I've been doing the higher stuff, so I'm not getting as low. Let me do my little exercise again.
And now let's see. You hear is a better voice. It's deeper there now. Yeah, so I can do it. And putting my hand on my ear, it helps sometimes too.
So sometimes what will happen in a session is time goes by and they're talking to you and you're not speaking, or you're not speaking in that particular tone, and you need to then take a break and go back and I need to do that to kind of get my voice back down into this place. And so I'll say, just excuse me, guys. I need to just do a couple little. I do that a lot. Because then it allows me, you can hear the difference. Because if I'm talking up here all the time and I'm kind of, that other part goes away. So, big deep breaths and expand and relax and relax the voice. And I'll do a little massage and everything too. But then I, if I'm in a hotel, I'll sometimes put a pillow around my mouth and do it so it's not so loud. So people in the other rooms will go, what the heck is going on in there? But anyways, so these are some little tricks and things that I do to get my voice into those places that you would not expect a 5'4", 120-pound guy to be able to get to. I can't explain how or why, other than to say that I believe that, my vocal cords happen to just, I got some good vocal cords. I inherited some good vocal cords. And I never heard my father's voice. Would have loved to have. Don't know what he sounded like. I would imagine he had similar range to me. My mother has pretty good range with her voice. She has a lower voice for a woman, but still yet very feminine voice. So I'm guessing, and her father, my grandfather, Arnold, where I get Arnold from,
he had a big, he had this, he was an Italian guy, and he had this big kind of, so it was, he had this voice. He had a big
voice. So I'm guessing I get some good vocal cord DNA from my family. There you go. So, if you don't have that ability, you can always make your voice a little deeper and such through warm-ups and things, but don't hurt yourself, okay? Don't hurt yourself trying to do those things. Study with someone, study with his singing coach, acting coach, and learn that way. All right, I hope this has been helpful, or interesting, if nothing else. I sure appreciate everybody watching the JAT Drives. I'm editing new Clone Wars Conversations, which should be out soon. It might even be out before this is out. I don't know. I don't know when I'll put this one out. But it's actually the last Clone Wars Conversations I have recorded, and it's a two-parter with me. I've been talking about it, and Amy Ratcliffe interviewed me, and it's a good one. I've been watching it. I think it'll be a lot of fun for y'all to see. So I hope you subscribe to the channel. I hope you check it out. Hope you check out all the other videos on this channel. If you're new to the channel, you're new to these, go through and look. I literally have hundreds of videos here. Some are about Star Wars, some are about Final Fantasy, some are about Ratchet and Clank, some are about voiceover, some are about positive thinking, some are about just my life as an actor and somebody in the world of pop culture. Some are taking you to cons. There's all sorts of videos on my channel here to watch. Some of it is pieces from my stage show. You can watch my entire stage show, a couple different versions of it here. You can watch clips of my stage show here. You can watch me doing impressions here. You can watch videos of short films I've been in, and hosting reels and demos of my work as a voice actor. All sorts of videos on the JAT channel. Check them out. You could binge watch for days. And I hope you do. I hope you subscribe. And I hope you spread the word. And I get more subscribers out there so we can continue making great content for you. I enjoy doing it. And I thank you all so much for supporting the channel. And I'm off.